Why, hello, greetings, top of the morning, afternoon, evening, night. It's GleeCon, and I am quite excited to be here with you again. This is my quite excited tone. This is a show called Lore of Warcraft, for those of you that are not familiar, that are new, first-time clickers. This is a show where we try to cover every single thing on the world of Warcraft, in the world of Warcraft, whole universe. We have for years now been covering every single piece of content chronologically, and I will continue to do so. We are in the middle of a very long World of Warcraft Classic walkthrough that's a reboot of our first attempt at a walkthrough. We're in the middle of doing Ashenvale. We've completely wiped Ashenvale clean as a horde, including Black Fathom Deeps and all associated quests. And we just started yesterday doing that for Alliance. We took care of the west of the zone, the things along the Zoram Strand, and the road leading back into Darkshore. So we're going to continue. Stay a while and listen as we take Glee Console, our human alliance retribution paladin, and she will help the night elves. So I still haven't. That is a artifact there, that pop up of LUI not playing nice with the questy workaround that I added. On the last level, she did level up to 33, which we got her Sanctity Aura. I will give her another point next time to improve Seal of the Crusader once more. Followed by 5 points to Vengeance, a point of Repentance. We'll look at that kind of thing when we walk. That's the boring stuff. Let's look at what our mission will be today. Alright, so we do need to go down south. I mean, we really need to take out Dal Bloodclaw, but I'm worried about that. I mean, Raine's Cleansing is also pretty darn easy or whatever. But so is the Stone, the Pride Wing. That's a pretty low one too. Alright, well, Elune's Tear is right there. The Howling Vale is further up. Alright, so maybe we're gonna do a loop like this. We'll go get Dal Bloodclaw, Elune's Tear, and the next step to Raine's Cleansing. Make a little mini loop right there, and then just see where the chips may fall after that. It's more important than ever that we keep our Seal of the Crusader on now, because with it, Sanctity Aura really helps magnify the damage of that move. But if we're not using Seal of Command, or really any of our seals, Seal of Justice, no, that's a stun chance. I think maybe Seal of Justice is probably a PvP. Oh, I just realized, no, that just prevents them from fleeing. Huh. So it kind of locks them down. If you know a mob is going to run a lot, you might use that. So today is the last day. I'm going to shed a tear for myself of my my beautiful stretch for the past couple months where I have been working from home. So I'll be heading up bright and early tomorrow to head into the office. That means my record schedule will change. My weekday record schedule will be different starting tomorrow, back to the way it normally is. I'm still going to be making at least 2. My goal is 2, but maybe even 3 episodes of whatchamacallit, the Patreon show. So if you haven't checked out my Patreon, if you have any interest in supporting me, you can support me however you want, and then as an added bonus, you'll get access to all of the lore of Assassin's Creed. So if for some reason that content is more appealing to you, I don't know. It's out there. It's pretty fun. I'm having a good time with it. It's very similar to what we're doing now, obviously, with just more it's all about Assassin's Creed instead. So if you like that franchise, it's pretty cool. However, in the first game, which is what we're in the middle of now, there's not a ton of lore so far. It's been a lot of collectibles, because that's kind of how the first game went. I think it will become more interesting as the show goes along, but it's fine. I'm still having fun with it, and that's the most important part to me. But we'll be doing everything, even the PSP and the DS games. There's Del Bloodclaw. Dag nabbit. Let's see if I can... Okay, we got it. So that was me getting the kill on that because that mage just killed it, but luckily he clicked yes on the invite just in time, and so we're good there. So we don't have to wait for the respawn of Dal Bloodclaw, which is good. Now we're going to go down to Elune's Tier. I hope I can get it this way. The actual quest for Elune's Tier, we're doing this as part of the... Dal Bloodclaw is just, I don't know, they said the Furbolgs are naughty and we got to make them pay. The reason why we're going for Elune's Tier is it is the next part of the healing potion. So we got the Bathrin's hairs and we made a potion out of that and brought it to the little weird dad. I don't know why. It's just fixated in my mind. I'm sure it's just a white shirt on that character, but it has forever scarred me, and I will always think of that guy as like pedo dad. So we're going to continue helping his daughter wake up so she can protect herself by getting Elune's Tier. Pretty easy. I think they're just like these white spheres at the base of this tree. And then on the way out, we will also talk to Sheldrin, who will give us the next step in the Rain's cleansing. That's a longer chain in this zone. We should still get a lot done. Anyway, so my scheduling tomorrow I'm going to get some copper. I think I'm falling behind it on the copper to tin ratio. So I can try to get some. But yeah, so I'm going to try and basically on the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, my plan is to try to get a... Best case scenario, I'll be able to squeeze in an early afternoon, like if I do it right when I get home from work. Because what it will be is I'm going to be fighting this window of time where those days my wife works and our overlapping time period is usually small. So I have to keep the marital bliss in my home. I have to make sure that some of that time is spent just interacting with my wife, helping, make her lunch, yada, yada, yada. So it's going to be fighting against that time constraint versus whenever I get home from work, and that's variable for me. So there's that Elune's Tier. That was the entirety of that quest. So now I do want to kind of send us hop down there, and looks like there's like a mountain wall, so gonna send us down. There's another tin vein. Gonna send us down this waterfall after I get this tin, and then maybe if I go down there I can walk around and get Rain's cleansing. Obviously it's not as much of a loop as I thought. I thought that it would be kind of easy to get that wrong. And anyway, and not staying up too late, because now my wake up time is very early, 5:36 a.m. when I'm working not from home. So that's the main reason why, honestly, and there's just so much. My job is so computer based that there is a downside for me having to go into the office. Ooh, can I survive that? I don't know if a paladin bubble will save me from a fall. Okay, we're gonna find out. I'm gonna bubble myself and jump. But if I hit the water? Okay, I don't think I hit the water, but I think the bubble did save me. So, that's cool. You probably could hit the water if you were better. If you weren't a bozo like me. Yeah, so it's just gonna and also everything else like in my life, predominantly helping my family like being part of my family, really, not helping them. Just existing, having dinner, taking care of the kids, taking care of the dogs, making sure my 8th grade son will be not left to his own devices, literally and figuratively. So all of the things that, you know, anybody out there that has kids knows what it's about. And then, and also not just, if I go to work all day at the office and I'm sitting there at a desk, some days I'm more mobile, because some days I'm responsive to different things, and I'm almost I'm having to go almost like a tech support person. So we have to go around this. It doesn't show it on the map, but we put ourselves in a little den here where we actually have to go around that little mountain. This is a good place to get bronze. I mean, we have a nice scattering of copper and tin everywhere. And I think that, talking about that, is infinitely more interesting than my dumb work-life balance. Long story short, and I'll cut it off here, is I've got to figure that out. And I am a little bit worried about it, but it'll all work out in the end. I have options. And I don't want the show to be part of the sacrifice. But this show will be my first priority, the lore of Warcraft. That, of all my records, all the different things I do, that'll be the first. I worry about me losing time on the dry run, but I have a pretty good head of steam ahead. So I think even if we close the gap, which we're closing it a little bit, I think I would still manage to keep up that show's leeway, because it really does, in my opinion, help me that we can pop over to that spreadsheet and have to not constantly research on Wowhead and blah blah blah. So I think I have a good head of steam. I'm finishing up, well, I don't know if I'm finishing up Arathi, but I'm pretty decently far into Arathi. I don't think I'll finish it today, but I'll probably finish it over the next couple days. And yeah, so there's just, we're not that close to being there on this account. So if you follow these little lamps, these solar-powered yard lamps that someone has set up, we can find this tiny little shrine, and this is where we have to go. The thing I don't like about this shrine and this quest line is you have to repeatedly run little errands back and forth to this place. Okay, so Raine's Cleansing. I think this is Raine's Cleansing 3. We just discovered Moonwell.
Is there trouble?
Hello, how are you?
What is nature's call?
Oh, Raine sent you? It must be serious indeed. What can I help you with?
Ah, the great outdoors.
I wish your tidings were better. Raine is correct. I know about Dartol's creation and the treants in the area. At least I did once. They've become corrupted now, their nature twisted. If your goal is to find the next piece of the rod, then you'll have to find the key to open the chest it's in. The wooden key is on one of the treants northeast of here near Fellwood. Once you have it, look for a small glade west of the road near the Fellwood border. The chest should be hidden around there. So it's actually kind of near where the wolves are. So, you know what? Let's do it. We'll do that part 2 as part of our loop. And let's look at the spreadsheet. So we are in Raine's Cleansing. So that was Raine's Cleansing 3 we just finished. I think you can kind of try to hop mountains. I don't know. My whatchamacallit, my quest must have like slowed itself down. Alright, and then we picked up Raine's Cleansing 4. If you notice, we're kind of jumping up in difficulty now. The first parts were much lower level, and now Raine's Cleansing 4 has jumped up to a level 27. It was a level 21, I think. So we're all fine at level 33. We can do whatever we want in this zone. I think the highest level quests are around level 30. So we're going to do this where we
get the Tome of Melthandris, which is kind of a neat quest, lore-wise. But we won't be going back to turn it in anytime soon. And then right now we're going to get the wooden key and open the chest. So that's the other part of what we'll do. And then we'll have to go back to this little stupid mountain and turn that in. Because I believe... What do we have? We already have the stone. This will help us get the shaft. And then all we'll need is the pommel. Oops. I don't think we're even going right yet. I do hate Ashenvale and Fairless and Felwood because of the way that they're just not friendly to navigate. I think that might ultimately be what it comes down to. Like from a beauty side, lore side, all that stuff. Yeah, they're cool. I got no problems with them. But the like forests that are built around mountains are extremely obnoxious to navigate. Also, why are these laughing sisters just fighting bears? Does bears have rabies or something? Wasn't really looking. A lot of rabies seems to be very common in World of Warcraft. They really need. I heard there was going to be. I think I read this in an article the other day. They're working on a rabies vaccine that you can give your pets or whatever, and or maybe you give your people. Yeah, because actually, pets already get a rabies vaccine. It's not pets that are a problem, it's wild animals. So that means maybe it's a rabies vaccine you're giving to humans? I don't know. I guess if you're afraid of rabies, I don't know how common of a problem it is. It's probably more of a problem in, like countries where you're interacting with wild animals more often, I would imagine. Alright, so here's the Ancients. They're all crazy now. The Withered Ancients. They actually are... Here I'm fighting just with my Seal of Command, but anything that has a XP value for it, I should probably hit them with the Crusade to Command combo. Although, we're obviously fine on this one. One of them will have a key. It was the first one. So drop rate not too bad on that. Questie's still going to freak out and show. That's the way questing works that way. If there's an item, such as when we did the Rainwood cleansing here, those ladies drop the file, which you then need to fill up. But until you actually fill it up, the file will continue to show. The same thing here. Until we actually open the chest and get the shaft, I think the keys continue to show. I don't know why it works that way, but those are Elder Shadowhorn stags. They're pretty cool looking. Stronger than the stags that we even found in Stone Talon. Iron? Say what? Where? There it is. I'll take some iron. We want to get to 155 too, so we can learn how to smelt gold. Last episode, we also read about the level 31, the blood robe and golden. I don't remember what they're called, but the warlock quest that you can get. So, and I can't believe that to get one of the starting piece of material that you need to do the entire chain is 100 gold. Freaking cray. I think I'd be begging guildies or something. I don't know. I can't see a world where 100 gold. That's crazy. I would go for the drop rate because you can get the recipe yourself. I would hope I had a tailor. That's the iron. It's called an iron shaft. I don't know if we can get up there or not, but maybe we can. It's probably a bad idea for me to try to go this route. The werewolf path is also somewhere around here. Okay, we can. I jumped a mountain. I don't know if that saved me time. I like how when I'm a druid, on my druid in cat form, that you can have the reduced fall damage. It's a pretty cool trait. It's like the bouncy trait that Pandaren have in retail. Alright, so this is an interesting thing. We're going to open this. Oh no, I'm thinking about something else. That's not interesting. Now we just have the second piece. There are a couple of treants right there. Crazed elementals and withered. All having, like, all giving us access. I guess I'm going to fight this guy. He's kind of like, kind of blocking my way. Now, I feel like the damage is really nice when you really layer all of these things onto each other. When you take the Sanctity Aura and you combine it with the Seal of the Crusader, and then you feather in the Seal of the Command, all of those things combined. So if you go to the end here where we're almost to Fairless, you can see the border, or I mean to Felwood. Then you make a little curve, there is this Howling Vale, this tiny little werewolf path. And I wonder if someone's been up here, I don't know. So these guys are some of the strongest people in the zone. Probably just about the strongest. I think some of the satyrs, the strongest satyrs, are in this ballpark of damage. But these Terra Wolf kind of reminds me. What's that do? It is a... Oh, it just reduces my healing effects. So whenever I'm hit by something like that, it just makes me want to time my healing around that. Two-handed bases went up. Alright, so our plan, we need to go into this little vale. That guy's coming. And he did not draw any friends. This is a Terra Wolf Flesh Ripper. Yep, so I'll be back in the office tomorrow. Went ahead and did the little haircut. Got that little, got that going. Gotta look presentable. And I had some work to do on Friday, and my computer is down, and my buddy is the head of the tech department at my job. I've talked about him before, one of my D&D buddies. And I texted him, I'm like, dude, like I got locked out. We have like this dual authentication thing. And I was like, I'm locked out. Can you remotely kind of help me out? And he's like, well, yeah, but you're gonna have to put in your private information, and I don't want to establish a precedent. So he was being smart and covering his behind. So I was like, I'm just gonna have to ask for forgiveness instead of permission, because he's like, so I'm just gonna wait. Rather than, I didn't want to drive up to the office just to have them unlock my work computer. So I just decided to be lazy, and then I'll just catch up on all of it tomorrow, when I'll be there anyway. Alright, this is the Howling Vale. I guess there's a tiny little cave. And as you saw, those werewolves, if you are borderline, you're not level 33, you might have to make a calculation on how tough this is. But it's actually pretty easy to get to them. You can do what I did and just skip all the werewolves getting out, maybe a pinch harder. We need the space and time to comfortably read that book. So we're gonna fight these werewolves. Might fight that one too, just to be case. This is a cool book. It's called The Tome of Malthandris. I don't think we actually like read it in the sense that we open up dialogue or carry it with us or anything. I don't think it works like that. Instead, yeah, see, it plays like a holographic movie. So you have this night elf woman. The number of my companions dwindles, goddess, and my own power shall soon be insufficient to hold back the demons of Felwood. Goddess, grant me the power to overcome my enemies. Hear me, please, my need is desperate and my cause is just. What? What is this? Could this be the answer to my prayers? Elune has granted me a weapon, this scythe, to defeat the demons. Okay, so she goes to pray to Elune while she's here in the Howling Vale, and it grants her a scythe. Elune grants her a scythe. So that's cool. She now has this, and it will help her be the champion fighting against the Felwood. And so we're going to continue that. Alright, before we did that, we've done our loop. We've done everything I want now. Because we have Culling the Threat, Elune's Tear. Now, she is the next step of Raene's cleansing, so we're actually going to do that next. I'm not going to turn into Howling Vale because we will have time to go back to that. And actually, Howling Vale is the one we just did. So here it is. I think if it's going back to this girl that is easier. I was going to say I remember one of the ways it's a little bit less annoying to get to. I think it's coming back here. I don't know that we can... what we need to do is get over that little hump, and then she's right on the other side, so if we can somehow scale this mountain or whatever, might be able to make it work. Otherwise, we're going to have to walk all the way around, which might just happen. Come on. Ooh, I could have probably done maybe a little jump there. Ah. Oof. We could just scale it. We might be able to. This is probably more work than had we just walked around. This is what I hate about it. There's no way of getting up there. I keep seeing like, well, if I just go a little bit more this way, then maybe I can climb it. Bummer. There might be a way. I feel like I've done it before. I feel like I've jumped that gap before and made it down to her, but her being that little satyr we talked to. And maybe we still have the opportunity here. But then we also have the chance of getting our butts stuck back in there. Yeah. But I'm not gonna try. I do believe you can, but bummer. All right, so we're walking around. I just can't help myself. I just want to make a shortcut out of this whole thing. And a lot of the times the game will reward you for that. You can get a shortcut. Oh, this was not a shortcut. Like I just did it when I was doing the Strong Guard quests yesterday. There's like a shortcut you can do to get back to the Ogre Tower in the back. There's another little treant. Alright, so we're walking around back to Raene. She's just in such an annoying location. That is my least favorite part of this questline. Which, if you could fly, I mean, it's a double-edged sword. So in retail, you can fly. Well, then you're really just doing content. I think back in the day, I mean, I think part of it was they wanted the world to feel big and lived in and give you that sense of exploration. And they succeeded, which is probably why there's a big part of the reason why there's so much nostalgia for this game. You really do feel like you're, especially before Wowhead, before Questy, you really felt like you're exploring a world. Those are just Ashenvale bears. They don't even have rabies. Oh, gosh, these satyrs are cutthroat. They're savage. But I also think part of it was like, we have a finite amount of content. We're paying people. We are inspiring people to pay a monthly subscription. We know we can release more content, but we need time to build it. So we need to map out the amount of content that's available, and there was little tools at their disposal. It was pretty much, let's just, yeah, so I mean, make flight paths longer, just things like that. Make it to where there's no fast travel. I'm not even in the right path yet. It's up here, I think. So all of that, make a lot of it grindy. And as someone else has brought, I read this on a Reddit or something somewhere, someone else brought out, like, the games, it's all of the predecessors, the EverQuest and stuff like that, leading up to this game, and the contemporaries, the RuneScapes, and things of that nature. Anything that had attempted this, it was solely based on grinding. So their attempt to make this world, this living, breathing, lore-rich world, they hit a... Well, to say they hit a home run is an understatement. Fantastic. I mean, obviously, I love the game. I've spent the past 20 years of my life. I mean, I'm almost half my life. I'm 41. I'll be 42 soon. In a few months, and I've spent nearly 20 years playing this game. That's crazy. That's crazy. You know, there will come a time in a few years where I've spent more time playing this game than I have not in the span of my life. I haven't even reached that point with my wife yet. In terms of how long we've actually been legally married. I've been married to Warcraft longer. Alright, Raine's Cleansing. We got the next one done.
Hi.
It upsets me so that the treants have become... It upsets me so that the treants have become corrupt. I wish I could do more to help them.
The
I'm
great
pleased to see you're back, Lee Contessa.
What is nature's call?
The final piece of the rod was given to the druids of Dordanil for safekeeping. I have no idea where they hid it. I'm sorry I can't help you more than that. All I can tell you is to follow the road that leads towards the Barrens. The druids took shelter to the east of that road, but they won't be of much help to you. They were killed recently. It's something I don't like to think about much. When you find the final piece, bring it to me and I will help you reconstruct the rod. Okay, so that's over there, and we already, if you remember from reading the instruction manual, it's going to be on a slime. We don't actually have to go into the pit yet. Now the Howling Vale, that's going to continue another chain, so I lied. I think we actually should go over there and turn that in. I'm going to double check, but I'm pretty sure the Howling Vale is going to open up another quest. I think it's part of a big old line. Yeah, so we do need to do it also, because it's part of a big chain. That bear's going to be bad that I'm walking right on top of him, but I don't care. We're going to go turn the other ones in now, but first we did just complete Raine's Cleansing 4. So cool, that one's done. And we picked up Raine's Cleansing 5, which is finally finished building the rod. Good for us. We can hit that up when we go do our bottom loop. It's not that off target, but we should also see where the next round of the Howling Vale is going to take us. We might as well. But all of this is still pretty low. I mean, I know we did just level up, but we're pretty... Remember, we have a 6 level... In this account, I'm actually a lot more optimistic that we can get it, but we have a 6 level goal. We want to be level 39 by the time we're at the end 1,000 Needles. And yeah, I do have optimism because we have this on this character. We have yet to finish. We have a lot of quests left in this zone. Questing alone wouldn't surprise me if we got past 34. And we have Black Fathom Deep still to do with all the quests. So that helps us out some. We'll be knocking on the door of 35. Then we have all of Wetlands, so not the biggest zone, but we could be knocking on the door at 36. And then we still have the dungeon for the Stockades. I think we can definitely be 37. Then we run the 1,000 Needles quests, the main ones in the Shimmering Flats. And so I think by the time all is said and done, we'll easily be around level 38 there. And then the goal would be to hopefully hit 39 by the time we hit the very last quest in the area, which is possible. And again, we just will have to grind. At 38, it's doable. At 38, we can actually pull it off. It's just crazy difficult because we'll be fighting mobs that are 5 and 6 levels higher than us. So
Not the best. Where are we at? We've got 25, 29, 10, and then we've got 9. We got about 20 copper, so we are now behind on copper, plus we have a few pieces of iron. When I look at the actual chopping it up, we have some things we can make out of bronze. Just really the silvered bronze stuff. So it's not the best. Really need to kind of go all in on iron. Because this I don't have any silver. Yeah. Now those patterned bronze braces are still decent, so we'll be rocking those. We'll use it up on those, but then I think we're gonna probably have to just stop getting anything bronze related.
I am honored.
Leekindessa, did you find Iris Lake? Do you have the tear?
Oh, you found it. I will place the tear in a stew and pray that it will...
Delicious.
Thank you, adventurer.
Put it in the stew. Come on. Peltura's white moon crushes the tear into a bowl of stew. Eat this, my daughter. It will help you feel better. There you go. Relara Whitemoon stirs from her delirium.
Elune's tear washed clear some of my daughter's sickness. Her nightmares are lessened, and I thank the goddess for her blessing. But fever still rages within her. Orendil told me of a frosted dust found among the ruins of Stardust. Perhaps it will abate Relara's fever. Gather some of the dust, then please return to me. The ruins of Stardust lie to the south, adventurer. May Elune speed your journey.
Alright, so first we did Elune's Tear. That one is completed. Bam. And that was one almost the lightest one. The Ruins of Stardust is pretty easy too in terms of level compared to what we've been doing. Alright, so let's also tell them, alert the Night Elves to the fact that we have culled the threat. The threat in the form of a naughty little furbolg.
I am honored. Good luck, friend.
The furbolg's corruption has caused Ashenvale to become a fraction of its former glory.
Well done, adventurer. We are under constant threat from the furball. Hopefully this will keep them at bay for a bit longer.
Okay, and that's not even a chain. We're just done. We've culled the threat. We rock in the house. We're the best. Culling the Threat's done. Let's add some more. I know we have a lot more quests to go. Okay, Culling the Threat. Bada bing, bada boom. I don't know what Mage Summoner is from. I think we get that from the Elemental Bracers. Alright, let's sell off and then we'll go turn into Howling Vale. So, Ruins of Stardust. We can now make a loop down where we get all these and go down. That will be our next part. Again, saving the Sadernor area. Probably not today's episode. There's a weapon person in here somewhere. Not a baker. Tools. I thought there was like a clothier. Man, it must be across the way. I want to sell some of my stuff before we go out into the world. Yep, we're fine. We have nothing good in terms of cooking.
Feel free to browse.
Alright, I don't need the sharp claws. We do need that stuff. I'll keep Thronis' journal for now. This is all blacksmithing. Most of my goods are blacksmithing. Don't remember. Oh, that's from the lady up there. Okay. So, we didn't actually have a lot of stuff to sell. Okay, so back to the Howling Vale now. Just to continue that chain. Thanks, bro. Thanks, brah brah. What's the person's name? Saxacat. Hit some people up with some blessings of might on the way out. I guess with so many steps in the Howling Vale quest line, we probably should just take it out. Now, this Ruins of Stardust, again, so this is where we'll start. Little lake there. It's actually one of the only levels we haven't, one of the parts of the map we haven't explored yet. pick up. We need 5 bundles. I think it's pretty dang easy. Then we will kill these foul wield, and then pick up the elemental bracers quest, which will have us killing the elementals, and then I think that we get mage summoning after that. So maybe there will be a second quest in that area. Then we will also get the iron pommel, and then we'll go through the path into this area and go get these pride wings. And then, I don't know, we'll have to decide how I want to get back, what's going to be the quickest, walking back or walking up and flying. I think it makes you fly a weird way, though. I think it makes you, like, fly up there and then back. So it's kind of long and annoying to fly to and from Stone Talon Peak. But I could be wrong. Maybe the Stone Talon to Astronar is not that far. I just feel like it's a trash flight path. Otherwise, I would take it. But I don't trust it. I mean, I guess we could walk through one way, come up here, then walk the rest of the way and fly back and see which was longer. We'll conduct an experiment.
The Tome of Melthandris works in strange ways. The events it records, the events it shows. No one truly understands why it does what it does. Nonetheless, it is clear that what Priestess Starsong received, this scythe of Elune, bears further investigation. Velinde Starsong was my predecessor here in Ashenvale Forest. At first it seemed she had the situation in Felwood under control, but little by little her efforts faltered. One day she simply disappeared. I was sent here to continue her work. I'm afraid I know nothing of the priestess, however. Perhaps Thintel Bladeweaver, one of the commanders of the Sentinels, knows further details of her disappearance that I was not a party to. Surely she will understand the import of such information.
Alright, so that impacts our decision. So we did the Howling Vale, which opens up Velinde Starsong. So the now we have to go to Darnassus. So now 100% what we're going to do is we're going to do the flight path. We'll still do the loop exactly the same way I planned. But now we will, I will walk up there, and then we'll fly to Darnassus, and then fly back out of Darnassus. I think a couple of the quests actually happen when we're in Darnassus. I think they are like having us kind of explore the city to try to find more information about Velinde. The name of the woman? Velinde Starsong. Or Velinde. I can't trust Questy. But also, I can't trust myself considering I've been saying Defius instead of Defius for 20 years now. So I also pronounced Raene. I still can't even pronounce it right. I need a refresher course because I baked that one in for so many years wrong. I used to call them Draene, I think. And I'm pretty dang sure that's flat out wrong. I think I read it's like Draenei or something like that. But it's definitely Dra instead of Dre. I fought hard though on the Defius v Defius debate. I was really in denial. I didn't want it to be true. Oh, look at that. That's kind of cool. I don't know that I've ever paid attention to that statue of... Well, she's got like a warglyph. Very deep. I don't know if that's supposed to be... Who that's supposed to be. Okay, we need copper. Copper is kind of sort of the ore that I want more because I see a spider there. That wolf just killed that. Okay, yeah, a lot of the times they will run up and then they just want to get one hit on you. So if you've tethered an enemy, like, kind of near where you think it might be the end of their rage-like area, go ahead and you can be brave and stop and let them hit you, because that will allow the combat to finally break off. I've been playing around with that lately. Alright, so we're just hopping around the hills here, trying to make our way to this little area. There's like another little bridge, exploring. But even that, like, I mean, I've been playing this game for so long, I don't know how much I've noticed that little weird statue lying in the... I mean, I might have just walked by it. Obviously, I've done all these quests a bunch of times, so I've obviously seen it, but it's just you don't clock certain things. You know, but oh yeah, and when I was talking about the leveling up, we can inflate our level some by running Nomergon. We have to run it, but I've done, now I haven't ran anything past Uldaman on Classic in over a decade, so I can't really speak to it, and I have greatly increased my ability, like the speed at which I run Nomergon. I am a freaking Nomergon pro, but all of that being said, that dungeon is just such a pain. I used to feel like Wailing Caverns was kind of a pain. It's fine. Takes a little bit of time, but it's not that bad. I think its problem is that it is on the longer side, and it's so low that you get a lot of people that's going to be one of their first experiences with dungeoning. So then you're like, holy cow, I didn't realize. And if you're doing a thorough, slow group, it could take, 2 hours to run that dungeon or more. So it's whatever, it is what it is. But Nomergon is, jeez Louise. Yeah, I don't know what we will do if we have to tank. I was trying to think. They're asking for a tank. I don't think we could tank. I really don't think I could pull off anything. I'm so hyper focused on damage dealing with all my talents. Like, I guess I could offer spot heals, but I'm not spec'd for healing. So my heals would just be heals. They'd be giving nothing. Oh, it's like I stopped attacking. I think by clicking that by accident. Alright, so we have all the ruins of Stardust dust. Now we're gonna go kill those foul-wheeled, dirty little furbog. Gonna kill those dirty little furbogs. Okay. And then we will start the Elemental Bracers quest and probably Mage Summoning. There's also another quest in this zone that sends us back over there. I think it might be the Mage Summoning quest. We'll also grind out the Iron Pommel. So yeah, we're just continuing our loops. And we will fly through here. We're getting a lot done. This is an example of an episode where I'll close the gap, so to speak, because I try to get 8 to 9 missions a day, quests done a day on the trial. I very rarely go past that. I often don't hit that. It depends on the level. So, with me making episodes of the classic walkthrough every day, it offers very little time for me to catch up or whatever, but I was doing this run for a while, so I had a huge head start, and and you guys, you can see that if I'm at Arathi, I'm ahead of the game, Alright, so first furbolgs. Just repeating myself, you know. Alright, so why are we killing the furbolgs? Well, we have an aggressive defense. It says before you travel to the Moonwell. I don't know. Is she talking about the Moonwell that I went to talk to the Raene? Maybe. But before we traveled there, so whoops, we did it in the wrong order. Oh, they're around this corner. Along the east, before the Feral, they've been attacking. Yeah, they're just basically saying their tortured minds are feeding upon fear. Oh, this is the elemental place too. We're still gonna kill the furbolgs and then come back here. Yeah, so something is messing with all of them too. I don't know what. I think there's an evil mage or something in the area. I don't know. So we have to kill 12 warriors. Okay, these guys are easy gray level characters, so now I hate these things because they constantly hit you with this disease. Totemics, we have to kill 10 of them. It's a 3-second disease. It corrupts I think it corrupts a random stat, or each one corrupts a different stat. Not sure exactly. Check it out here, see. There is this corrupted strength, which makes sense. So the totemics go after your intellect, the warriors go after your strength. If you're fighting multiple, and it refreshes basically on every hit, so it makes it to where you are essentially going to always have this disease going. That was intellect again for a totemic, so it does seem. Now here's an Ursa. We only need 2 of these. We don't need Shaman. The Ursa's corrupted strength, okay. So far only 2 versions. We got a large red sack. That is good, right? Yeah. Okay, so we can take our large red sack and replace... Look at that. Replace... So now we only have 1 8 slot, and it's kept in Sandra's booty bag. Okay. That's good. Upgrade 2 inventory slots. Yeah, but because this disease is, first of all, it procs every single hit. So you are essentially going to always have it. Look, even then, I got it just from hitting him. So it's not even proccing. We only need 1 Den Watcher. That's corrupted stamina. New one. Okay. Shaman. There's another one of those Ursas. Okay, so... Oh, I pulled the Shaman with it. What are the... Strength and intellect. I guess I'm gonna fight the Shaman. I can't wait till we get consecration. It's gonna be nice. Yeah, the Shaman are also reducing intellect. Just pop this thing down. Okay, so we've done the 1 Den Watcher and 2 Ursa, but we still need the lion's share of the main Furbolg forces, which are the warriors, which you needed a dozen of, and the totemics. But now we don't have to worry about the weak guys anymore. We can just focus on the main, the chaff. Another warrior. So for someone of our caliber, of our level, really. This quest is nothing. No XP, a little bit of gold. Alright, so altogether 22, there's 25, you need to kill 25 Furbolg. And we have killed 11. So we're just under the halfway mark. Greenfall Village. Opened up that bad boy. Guess we didn't have that one. And really it's just a matter of me just keeping an eye on our updates. These poor Furbolg. Okay, now we're technically half a kill under halfway, so now we're half a kill over. So we've basically passed the halfway point because we've killed the Den Watchers and Versus. Gonna need to reply that blessing of might soon. Yeah, now the Befouled Elementals, I think it's a slightly different kind of flavor. I think on the Horde, you just have to kill them, and then you have a chance of getting Tide Rest, which allows you to go talk to Jenu. But nothing. It's really just a kind of a breadcrumb. Whereas for the Alliance here, I think we're like destroying their bracers or something weird like that. I think there's some kind of annoying aspect to it like that. Alright, so we've got 9 more kills left to do out of the 25. So we're about 2/3 done. There's another warrior back there. That's a solid chest. I mean, we could open it. A lot of the time there's ore or leather. That's actually probably the best way for us to get leather without going to the auction house. So, fine, I'll open it. And there's a barrel of melon juice back there. I'll take that too. Okay, mostly a bunch of crap. But I can sell that shiny war axe for a few silver. And I'll take the melon juice. Ow, I walked through the fire. Ow. Alright, so we are now... Actually, that's what I just worked on. I just did Stromguard badges, Wanton Res Cowl. I just haven't done the Auto and Falcon Rest thing, which is... I actually think that's inside the top of the tower. Now that I think about it, that one's going to be a little tricky to solo. Okay, 2, 4, 6, so alright, we're a little bit past 3/4 done now. These Den Watchers. Yeah, it's not, again, not hard, it's just the quantity. Killing 25 of these bad boys. Imagine when we actually have to kill, like, or, I mean, we killed way more than that when we did the Naga episode a couple episodes back, which... Gotta say, people did not like seeing me grind. Not a popular episode. Got some thumbs downs on that one. So, believe me, I could thumbs down myself with that. Grinding for that page was not my idea of fun. Also, it's just so avoidable. Just get it in the auction house. Get some positive RNG. I wonder if anybody out there is just making money off of these pages. Like just grinding here. I guess if you had an app, you were grinding something. Those Pathfinders are annoying. Alright, we just need 1 warrior. And we have everything. So... let's go, I guess, in the direction of the next quest. Watcher. Ursa. There's a warrior. I think he just spawned in. Alright, so this will be our final quest here. We never need the Pathfinders. They're solely there to annoy you. And they succeed. Why? Because they're basically a hunter. They shoot you with a bow. Luckily, they don't have a pet, so they could be more annoying. Alright, we have quote-unquote helped the Night Elf Sentinels. How did we do it? We murdered a lot of Furbolgs. Now we're going to Sentinel Velinde Starsong to pick up the quest Elemental Braces. I believe it's part of the 2 quest line. I thinky poo. Methinks. And then we will go get our iron pommel. So we're doing quite nice. I would like to finish this loop at least, including going to Darnassus and killing the Pride Wings. Then we'll check time and see. I'm feeling fine on time right now. So no hurries as of this point. This is a nice little place. I don't think she has any other good recipes. No, this is where you buy the expert cookbook. Pet trainer. Here's our quest.
Have you seen the befouled water elementals in our lake, adventurer? It is a sorry sight, but I do not know where they are coming from. Your name has been mentioned in conversations past. Perhaps you could help me with this problem. The first thing we must learn is who is in control of these elementals. Take this divining scroll. It can determine the creator of these elementals. But you will need something from them to use as a reagent to focus Scroll's magic. Their bracers should do nicely. A few intact bracers from the creatures should be enough. The other bracers will be useless for our purposes, but they may be worth something to a merchant if you wish to sell them.
Thanks.
Once you have the intact bracers attempt to use the scroll, return to me with the results, and we shall proceed from there.
Alright, so we need 5 intact bracers. Here's a bower, so we can actually repair. That's good. We can sell this bag. I think actually on... Yeah, we can make heavy silk. That's good. So I think we've gotten some silk from someone. Maybe those werewolves. I'm not sure where we got it from, but... Yeah, 11 silver. So we basically, out of that solid chest, we got 11 silver. That's good. And we're trying to get to 210 so we can make mage weave bandages, which will be cool. We are definitely getting there. Okay, cool. So that's going to be gone. That's gone. That's gone. That's gone. That's gone. Ba, 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 ba. I think the rest... We don't even... Oh, we can save the wool. I forgot because we... Herbalist, alchemist. Buy a couple healing potions, but I've got plenty. We can save it because we can turn in our rep quest. We haven't done any of that with any of our characters yet. But we haven't got there yet. We still need a pinch more. We have like 50. Alright, so we have to kill these, and then we're going to... We have this divining scroll. The paper's blank, save for a few runes. You'll need bracers from the elementals to use it. These are also low-level quests, low-level dudes. I don't even know what I was doing. Okay, so the broken ones can't do anything for. Also, if we were to fight Tidris, she will not drop the befouled thing for us. So there's no point to even really fight her. Maybe she could have a bracer we can take. Okay, so now that we have it attacked, what we do is we write... Oh, we need 5 to even... I guess you need 5 to even do it. I see. I mean, we could use our little... one of our breathing potions if we wanted to. Yeah, for 30 minutes. Otherwise, we're going to be going up and down to the surface. Actually, I'll just go to the island in the middle. Bubbling water is nice. Okay, so that's what we will do. We'll just go to the island and fight there, at least for a little bit. Rather than wasting one of my water-breathing potions, because there are times in this game where we are going to need those potions. I can think of one quest in particular when we go fight the elite Murlocs in the Broken Reef for the quest line for Shimmering Flats. We're going to need that one. Alright, so... Cool. We need 4 more bracelets, however you want to think of them. I think the drop rate's not that great, but we're just not getting XP, which is the painful part. It's a double-edged sword. Like, you know, you get XP, you level up, and then... Okay, we got 2. There's no real way to do it. Like, people talk about... I guess the one thing you might not like is the speed at which you level. So, if you are all about leveling at a fast speed and your goal is to get through this game as fast as possible, so that you can do... If you consider endgame rating the only thing that really matters in this game, that's 3, then my style of playing is like anathema to you, because that's the exact opposite approach I have to the game. To me, the only point of endgame rating is to get the storyline completed for whatever current expansion you might be in. And the only reason you need gear is to be strong enough to take on the harder level quests. Like, I have a completely different approach to the game than most people, and I don't care about PvP, except I think that was our 4th one, in the sense that it can give you some of that good juicy gear. I mean, I like the titles too, it's nice. I'm vain like everybody else, so I'll take a vanity title. There's Tidris. Oh, we can get the bracer from her. Okay, so I'm gonna take Tidris on as though she was a regular mob here. Got her taken care of. So maybe between one of the 2 of them, we'll get our last thing. Neither gave it to us. Tidris gave us nothing, whereas for a horde, she'd give a drop quest. And that wasn't me being a jerk. I really... I was gonna not fight Tidris. She just came up on me and aggroed me. And then once I saw she had a chance of dropping the intact bracers, then sure, why not? Give it a shot. There's nobody in the area. It's not like I'm stealing a kill from a horde or something like that. Alright. Come on. Come on, little water elemental. Lee Contessa needs your bracer. I need 1 more. Got it. Alright, now I think we can use this thing. Yep, and that gave us a divine scroll. It says the paper is covered in glowing runes. An evil force created these. He sits on Dreadmist Peak at ease. He laughs at thee and thy friend. His elementals have no end. Soon you must confront this mage, for only death will end his rage. Okay, so for whatever reason, our divination magic appeared in the form of a poem. Good job. Hey, anybody from Blizzard, if you're watching this and you want a poem writer, I will gladly write poems of that quality for you. Or better. I feel like my poem game could be strong, but definitely I can make a few couplets for you like that.
How may I help?
Since you must destroy the bracers to kill the elementals, it will probably be difficult to find the specific ones that contain the information the divining scroll needs. You can trade bracers with others in order to obtain the ones you need, or perhaps you have the divine paper already. Oh, I wonder if they were originally going to set this up to be almost like a massive grind quest like the Lost Pages.
Well done, adventurer. This should give us the information we need to have the culprit discovered. How would you feel about taking out the mage who fills our pools with corrupt elementals? The corruption of Ashenvale and beyond makes my stomach turn on its own. To have a wizard actively attempting to destroy it further sickens me to no end. We shall make him pay. There's only one undead mage in the Barrens capable of defiling this many water elementals. He's also the only one foolish enough to try. Cerulus Foulborn is probably sitting at the top of Dreadmist Peak laughing at me. Adventurer, you must go into enemy territory and destroy this miscreant. I have had enough of his idiocy, and we must show him what happens to those who annoy the sentinels. Destroy him and bring me his head. Be wary, though. The Horde may be watching for you.
Okay. So now we have to also go to the Barrens. If we look at the map, Yeah, he's literally in the middle of the Barrens, so we're going to have to fly to Ratchet. I mean, actually, we could do either. We could fly to Ratchet, we could fly back. Go either way. We're... Okay, so I forgot to check that we picked that one up. The Elemental Bracers. We picked up that quest, and we completed it. Bam, bam. Okay, and then we got Mage Summoner. So this is... Now we have a reason to go down there and... Whatever. That is a further quest line. We're going to have to include that in our loop before we head back. We also have to do that. So right now we're going to go over here and get this Iron Pommel. That's my next mission here. I should have sold all those stupid things. Because we're not going to be back into town for a while. The bubbling water... I guess I can see how much it sells for. That's pretty useful. 98%. The bubbling water is,
Peace be with you.
2 silver. Those are crap. I guess I'll keep it, knowing that I can toss it if I have to, I can toss it. But it's equal to the melon juice. It's essentially the same thing. So it's just found by drops instead. Alright, so we need to get our Iron Pommel, and then we're going to get the Stone Pride Wings, whatever they are, and then we have to fly. Now I feel like... flying to Darnassus is still probably our best bet. Dreadmist Peak is not that far of a walk down this path. So... Nope, I'm not going to fight you guys. I definitely want the Iron Pommel right now, but now maybe just walking past the little... It's really not that far of a walk from the north of Ashenvale. I mean, from the south of Ashenvale there. We walk through that gate. And then what? Then we could... We got 2 options then. We could... If I walk down, instead of walking through the Talon Deep Pass, and I get this, we can either walk through this way into Stone Talon, or we can walk to Ratchet, fly here, and then walk here. Neither is an ideal. And then we can fly from Stone Talon Peaks when we're done with that back to Darnassus. Alright, I'm a little bit too far south for this pass. Or, yeah, so my options are going to be to... Really, it's what's going to be faster? Walking from here to Ratchet and flying, or walking all the way up there. I wish you could, like, put it in MapQuest. Figure out, like, what is the fastest route? That would be cool if there was, like, a World of Warcraft Classic MapQuest. Because that is really... From here... What would be the fastest? Going to Ratchet and flying, then coming back, or just walking? I think just walking. I think I'm just going to go with the walking. Walk, walk, walk. Plus it's more active. You know, I get my steps in. Somebody cheered at me. I wasn't really paying attention. I would have buffed them or something like that. They didn't buff me. They just took the time to cheer at me. So that's cool. Thanks for cheering at me, bro. Or sis, whatever you are. I don't even know what your avatar is. Zeh? Could be anything. I was looking at Reddit, the World of Warcraft Classic Reddit, and somebody was like showing like when you do /who and it shows you who's in the zone. And they were like, it's just all hunter bots, something like that. And it was all these clearly bot names. Oh, there's that guy. We could just wipe out that entire quest, but that would be mean. That would be mean of us. Alright, so here's what we need to do. We need to kill these guys. I believe what will happen is they will have... Some of them will drop a chest, and then within the chest, there's a chance of the pommel happening. So it's not from them. You wait for them to go away, and then I think there's a chest. I believe that's how it works. I'm not 100% on that, though. But that's our goal right now. We're going to fight these slimes. This is pretty... I don't know how time is going to serve us. In terms of, will we be able to finish this zone tomorrow? This is... Okay, we got a chest out of this one. Got it. Okay, so perfect. So now we were already done with that. That's great for us. Doesn't mean we have to go back to stupid rain. I hate walking over there. But we're not doing that. We're not going to do that on this episode. I can already tell you right. I can already tell you that right now. We have a solid amount to turn in. We still have all of the grinding of the satyrs to do. Thought maybe we could do this one in 3, but now that we've hit the point where there's just so much travel, if you look at our actual quests. Okay, so this will be done. This is done. This will finish. The Rain's Cleansing chain, that has a bit to it still. Forsaken Diseases, Fallen Sky Lake, those will be happening over there with the satyr. This whole chain is still so long. That is still needing to be finished too. Alright, so there's 2 ways down if you kind of go around. If you veer to the east a little bit, you don't go through the big gate. There's a busted gate right here. We've used it on this show before. More Sean Rampart. But when I saw how north Dreadmist Peak was, I was like, oh, well, let's just go up there. Okay, and then, yeah, I do think it might just be quicker to walk down. Again, there's a separate gate right there. And then, even though it's going to be a bit of a walking up, because we're going to basically have to walk the entire zone of Stone Talon Mountains to eventually get to the peak. And then we have to fly to Darnassus. Gross. And I hope we're not making, bad use of our time. I hope there's not 2 reasons to go to Darnassus. So I'm going to make a pie today. Again, still on pie hunt. My crust came out on the last pie significantly better. However, it was... So I'm making a mixture. I'm going through this whole pie cookbook. Some are savory, some are sweet. Some dessert, some are dinner. The last one was an Alaskan halibut potato pie. I didn't have easy access to Alaskan halibut, and I feel like fish is more sensitive, and I didn't want to throw off the whole... I didn't want to risk, ruining this pie by having a fish that was not... that had a different subtlety to it. And the pie was very, very basic. It was just basically potatoes, peas, a little white wine reduction, and the fish. So the fish was going to be carrying it. So I was like, I don't know what to do. So then I was like, you know what? I will make it instead as a chicken pie. And it'll be basically like a chicken pot pie kind of thing. And then I just felt like it was safer to go that route. And it was fine. The problem was my schedule kind of got thrown off, and I ended up having to let the crust sit in the refrigerator for a couple days, and it was very dry when I took it out. And so my crust was, I had solved some problems, but I've created others. Okay, so these are level 10 guys. I bet you we can walk right by them, it won't matter. But here's the dude. Okay, I didn't want to have him live. Okay, we killed him and took his head. Alright, so now it's down. Down we go. There is sometimes an elite there. I think we've killed it on this show. In this cave, there's like a demon elite. He's not in there right now. But he's very common. So that's it. That was easy. I don't even... It's... The problem was going up to him. I guess maybe if he summoned those elementals, he would have been more of a pain in the butt, but... He's only level 25, and all of the mobs around him are like level 10. So he's some weird Burning Blade mage, and for some reason, he summoned those elementals. So he is the quote-unquote mage summoner. He just awesome dude. I don't understand what he did. I mean, I do know they've mentioned from a lore perspective that there is a forsaken presence in Ashenvale. So Stroker Nug Love says hi in chat. Stroker Nug Love. Okay. Alright, so now we're on a little bit of a boring walk as we walk up, and then we're going to get the Pride Wing and their venom sacks. We have one linen cloth I can throw away. After we walk up and finally kill the Pride Wings, we're going to finish the walk by going up to Stone Talon Peak. And when we get to Stone Talon Peak, we're going to fly the rest of the way up to Darnassus. We're going to see where time is at based on that. That might be a stopping point for us on this episode, where we fly the rest of the way to Astronar off camera. Or it might be, depending on time, if this just breezes through, then instead we might be like, you know what? Let's just fly back to Astronar and turn in those quests too. So we're kind of see, but I suspect I'll call it in Darnassus, and then we've got all these nice ones to turn in on the next episode. I think same thing here. By the way, I am diverting myself around the main horde entrance into Stone Talon, and there's a broken, battered tower gate. Thanks to the Alliance. I don't know who broke this one. You could definitely make the argument that in Ashenvale it is the war with the Alliance, but while Stone Talon is contested, it's not contested in the same way that Ashenvale is. It's a truly neutral zone. And really, its most... I'll take a word from this ornery plains strider. Its most onerous pests or combatants are the Venture Co. Because they do have Stone Talon Peak, but that's really like a druidic peak where the Cenarius children are, which I think it's kind of rough that the Tauren druids are actually antagonistic toward that. So we made it through the entrance. There is the Horde mini base. We can get some quests. But obviously we're not doing that. And now we really just have a boring... We're going to walk through the Grim Totem Tauren little camp. There is Beef Sadness. A Tauren Shaman. That doesn't sound good. Beef Sadness does not sound good. Yeah, I think we'll be okay on finishing this episode. Finishing this on the next episode if there's not a lot of travel. So we still have to do, we basically need to turn in Raine's Cleansing, but we still have 6 other pieces of Raine's Cleansing. Now, some of that is going back and forth. We've got to do the Herbold type of stuff. The Mage Summoner, the Pride Wings, Runes of Stardust, Aggressive Defense, Mage Summoner, they're all technically done. They just need to be turned in. So it's really just these quest lines right here. We've got to finish the Raine's Cleansing quest line. Fallen Sky Lake, I don't remember what the deal is with that. That's probably just one more step in the healing or something. Forsaken Diseases happens over there by the Satyr. And then you have this other part, Seed Baron's Port. We are going to have a little bit of travel because she's going to send us... This is why I want to do the Darnassus stuff. Because we might not even be going right to. We might be going over here. I think we are. I think we're doing Barrens, Booty Bay. Then I think we're going to I think there are actual parts that send us into Duskwood. So before we ever make it back, we'll be doing journeys over in Eastern Kingdoms. So that's just a pain. So I think that right there answers it for me. We will be, and it doesn't answer whether or not we're going to finish the episode on the next one. But it does answer for me where we're going to go, because now I'm not even flying back to Astronar. We are going to fly to Ratchet to do that portion after we pick up the quests here. And I won't make us all sit through that together. I won't even sit through it. So after we finish this, we will fly to Darnassus. We'll do the couple quests in Darnassus. And then I will get us on a flight path from Darnassus over to Ratchet, and that's where I'll log. And so when we tune back in, when we clip out of this episode at the end, we will be in Darnassus, and when we turn it back on, I'll be in Ratchet. But the only thing that will have transpired is a flight path, which I will walk out of the room for myself and go have lunch and everything. My nice Sunday lunch. Before it gets back into the grind. Tomorrow, as I mentioned, not a grind. Tomorrow's this meetings in union speeches, blah, blah, blah. I do have some work to do, so it's kind of trying to walk that line between where I have work I could start working on, but at the same time, I have meetings, and do you really want to work? Do you want to be that guy that works on the computer during the meeting? I have been that before. It just all depends. Because, let's face it, we all work in most of us work in places that have meetings. Most people do. Some way, shape, or form. You at some point, most likely, have to go to a meeting. Why? Freaking people love meetings. People in management love meetings. I don't know. It's probably why I didn't get... I've actually thought about it a lot. I think there's... about my own failures in promotion. I think it's ultimately, since I am a government employee, the higher you get in government, it doesn't matter. There's an element of politics to it. And politics is, unfortunately, it's completely centered around walking the middle of the road, being as safe as you can, with all of your words, not ruffling feathers. And what that unfortunately leads to is a lack of transparency and downright deceit. You and somehow this is justified by serving the greater good because you are, you know, you're maximizing the amount of quality work you can get out of your people, because, you know, if you know their jobs are in jeopardy or their job performance is poor compared to their peers or whatever, just telling someone you're on a ticking timer and you suck, that's not going to motivate someone. Now, if you were on a ticking timer and you did suck, would you want to know it? I would. I think most people would want to know that they were on a ticking timer. Do people want to really know that they suck? It depends. If you're honest with yourself, and I would like to think that I am, but I'm probably a little self-deluded too. We can finally kill Pride Wings. There's probably, you know, a fair amount of people, like, it depends on how it's all done. But everybody has room for improvement. Everybody on Earth. I don't know what the drop rate's going to be, but that was good. 1 for 1 so far. If we can get a 100% drop rate, then we're all good. So I don't know. And I have, you know, all of these interviews, they ask you, what would you say your #1 strength is, like, within your workplace, and mine has always been relationship building. I'm very quick to say that. It doesn't matter anywhere on the chain, from the people that we serve to, you know, to the stakeholders, the families, the community, blah blah blah, to the custodians, to my peers, to the people above me. I've always had a very strong ability of building relationships. I think it's because I truly value it, and people realize that. I think you can't fake that. I think when you truly value having open, honest conversations, and that's another part of it, I think I say what I believe is happening. If I'm privy to information, I will share that information to the best of my ability, and that's just, I think that's part of why I rub some people the wrong way. Great, someone's out here killing these Pride Wings now. Fantastic. So, I mean, no, I also want to be very careful, because what people do is, a lot of the times when you are disappointed and you don't get what you want, or you're defeated, or whatever, I think that there's a tendency that we have to find a reason, to find a scapegoat, to find a way to blame and say, well, I didn't get this job, I didn't get this promotion, I didn't succeed, I didn't get the positive review because of X, Y, and Z, outside of my control. Well, the system is rigged. You know, there's a lack of, I like it, these instant respawns we have. There's a lack of, whatever, honesty, transparency. I possess these things that are virtues, and my company just doesn't value these virtues because they value crappy things instead, or whatever. So, I'm not trying to go down that route. I'm not denigrating every single aspect of it, nor am I, like, setting myself up as this object of perfection. There are many reasons I'm sure I was not selected. The #1 reason, like, unequivocally, being my boss did not view me as the best candidate. That is, now why? That's up for a whole other separate debate. And I can be mad, and I can completely disagree. That's my prerogative. I believe that the candidate, at least one of the candidates selected, is a terrible choice. But that's it. I'm entitled to my opinion, and my opinion doesn't pick that sort of thing out. So it is what it is. I think there are many reasons, but I think who you know, relationships, that's all part of it, and whatever. So and a big part of it might just be I value different things than my current boss values. So if I value staff morale, relationship building with all stakeholders, all levels of vertical, like outreach and communication, with building up the quality of and success of the institution by starting within, by supporting the employees and having building morale, and making our place a destination, a desirable, a coveted place to come be, to come work, to come spend your entire career. If that's not what my boss's vision is, as nobody would argue that those things are important, but if that's not her vision of what is the most important thing, somebody else comes and gives some better message, well then of course, yeah, that person's gonna be better fit. So I ranted, my bad. So I think a big part is to do my job. One of the things there, all levels of management, government, or whatever really like to see is they like to see that you have gone out and created your own initiatives that have had success and that you've rallied people under you. Which is a little bit hard in my job because I kind of work in a silo. Again, not an excuse, just means that I have to be creative. So I have to walk the line this year where, you know, over the next period of time, where I'm gonna just try my best to do my best job because I have pride in my work, and we'll see. What I would ideally like to do, own it all, you know, ship it all, wave it all goodbye, and make this my life. But I have a lot of work I need to do better on this show too. There is a lot of things that are within my immediate control, even on this show, that I'm not doing. So it can only be any lack of success, any lack of that happening is ultimately my fault. I could invest. I could invest in a producer. I could take the time needed to edit my own videos. I could cut out my extra other activities in my life that are recreational, and I could devote more time to this show with an emphasis on the editing and the production value, the animation, you know, sound quality. Like, there's a lot of things I could really go all in on. I have enough financial freedom. I could invest. I could take a financial risk. So I could do these other things that I choose not to do. Because there's a lot of reasons. Part of it is this is also something I enjoy greatly. So putting some of those things on it would turn this into more of a job, and while it would be a job that I 100% enjoy, I already have to work a job full time. So my goal would be to get this somewhere in the middle. That's my current goal. Somewhere where it's paying for itself and perhaps could even be generating enough income to pay for the help, and to maybe get like and or get an get a partner, not an assistant, a partner, someone that would want to make the content with me, a second voice where we could do things together, that would have the same passion for growing the show, the commitment to the show, and then I could, if I had that, then I could step maybe into a less lucrative work from home type of job, and basically that's my goal, is to kind of spiral it like that. Start making enough money to where this show can facilitate some other things, and then get it to where it's good enough to where it could facilitate me taking a different type of work, and then that snowballing, that new, like a less stressful, less time intensive job which would then give me more time to further put back into the show, to where eventually it would build up, and this would be my main source of income, and that would be the perfect world dream. I don't know that it'll ever happen, but that's where that's my current mission. So all of you out there that are watching right now that are this deep into me just completely up my own butthole, you are awesome, and you are the main reason that dream is even a possibility. You know, some people, everybody else, you know, that you just can, hopefully you win the lottery or something like that. So I have awesome viewers and subscribers and commenters and likers and all of that out there, and you guys are really the reason why I need one more. Dang it, I thought I had all 12. I was just leaving. I was like, I'm done. I've killed all my wyverns. And then I noticed Questy was showing me all these little baggies over the board still. The walk up to Stone Talon Peak and flight to Darnassus is the part I'm looking forward to the least, actually. That's boring. Alright, now we've got all of it. Okay. So that's the plan here. The plan is to walk to Stone Talon, then fly to Darnassus, walk to Stone Talon Peak, fly to Darnassus, and then while in Darnassus, do the Velinde Starsong quest, followed by whatever other quest comes out of that, until she says, we can look right now at the overall series, how it will go. Velinda's Effects is a second one that we will also do, followed by the Baron's Port. Well, the Baron's Port is Ratchet, so when we pick up the Baron's Port quest, that's when we will leave this off. We have a bunch turned in. They're just going to sit in our log for a while. So we have a chance. We do have a chance of finishing this zone tomorrow. A chance. But by far, it is far from a certainty. Especially with the time constraints of my life. Yeah, this I'm also just not looking forward to work this week because it's like 80% of it's going to be meetings and talks. I'm just not. I understand why they have to happen because let's say for a small thing, okay, definitely some meetings don't have to happen. Send me the info if it's relevant to me, I'll read it. But let's say it's information that you really want people to have, like operations. So let's, for example, we might have a big change in a set of operations and or a set of instructions that you're legally mandated to give to / train all of your employees in. And it's non-negotiable, and you need evidence of said training. So that's a situation I find myself in a lot. Well, if I sent everyone out this training as say, a module in a video, in an email, well, there's a large chance, I know the people I work with, there's a large group of those people that are never going to do it. They're never going to open it. They're not going to complete it. Doesn't matter that it's the law. Doesn't matter. It's just not going to happen. So if we legally mandate that they go to this meeting, or if we not legally mandate it, if the boss or whatever mandates this meeting, or if I send out a mandated meeting to the whole staff, everybody will come. Everybody will sign the papers. You have your legal proof that you've administered this training, or you've given the instructions, or whatever. So I get it. But myself, I know myself. If you sent me a training, even if it was a 100-page PDF guidebook, and it said it is mandated that you read this, I will read it at work. I will check the boxes and do it. That's the kind of person, that's just how I am.
Where would
I
you
will
like
use
to
my
find
time
something?
in that manner. I will make sure it happens.
Good luck.
So, for me, these meetings are annoying because I would then train myself or consume that information at a faster pace than I would be if I had to go drive into a specific building, an office, blah blah blah. Anyway, I probably a lot of people feel the way I am. This is what's weighing on my head today. I've been in my cocoon. I've been able to shave what I want and wear gym shorts all day, every day. I've been able to spend the hours I would normally spend commuting reading books. That's gonna go away. So bear with me, guys. I will try to be better. Okay, we're flying. We're flying and we're flying. I don't think that there's any kind of crazy... Now, what's going to annoy me, if they send me in... I'm hoping they just send us up Darkshore. What my fear would be is, if they kicked us over and made us fly in through Astronar, if that happened, I would just do click request stop, and we instead, I would turn in these 3 Astronar quests with us. Or I might even just... I would maybe even just end it. Because we're getting pretty dang... This episode's getting quite long. In my desperation to try to finish it all. I'm going to go ahead and just tell myself it's not going to happen. Why don't we start there? I don't know, because we're going to turn in all those... We basically just have to do the rest of the Rain's Cleansing questline. These couple quests for the Forsaken, the rest of the Velinde Starsong questline, which does take a while, because it culminates with Insane Druids. We have the ones that are going to send us down into the Dordanel Lodge, Barrow-Den, I mean, those are rough. And the Vile Satyr in Branch of Cenarius. That's Satyr Slaying. Do we have Satyr Slaying? Yeah. Because I think you have to go back and turn in that, then they give you Satyr Slaying at the end, which is silly. Okay, good. We did not do the long path I was afraid of. We're going to hit Aberdeen and shoot over, so it's not going to be that much longer before we get to Darnassus. I mean, you know Satyr Slaying takes a while. That's going to take half an hour minimum. This, between picking up the quests, traveling, there's so much travel on this one, combined with the finale, that's going to take us a good 45 minutes right there. The Rain's Cleansing quest and the others, I mean, it's going to be tight to fit this into 2 hours. It is going to, I don't know that we will. I don't know that we're going to be able to do it. Because of the different elements of the quest line. So I don't think we will. Because I genuinely think that we've probably got closer to 3 hours of remaining content for this zone compared to 2. That's not counting Black Fathom Deeps. I will make it up by doing the Black Fathom Deeps and Turn In all in one episode. So that means probably by around Wednesday we should be fully done with Ashenvale and on to the wetlands. And then my goal would be to finish all of wetlands and stockades by the end of this upcoming week. So that's cool. So over the next week, that's our plan. We'll be finishing off Ashenvale, doing all of wetlands, turning in the stockades, which will then get us ready to do Hillsbrad Foothills. Hillsbrad Foothills, like I've talked about for the Alliance, that is a one-day scenario. We'll be able to knock that out in a day. I'm guessing. It's pretty quick. There's like maybe 10 quests total. And a couple of them are actually Arathi Highlands, but we're going to take them out. But then from the flip side, it's going to be at least 4 days, I think, as the Horde. There's a lot of quests, including some pretty tough elite ones, and a lot of Alterac Valley ones that we're going to be getting into. Alright, so we're going to Velinde Starsong now. Or we're gonna ask Fintel Bladeweaver about Velinde Starsong. That's the part of the process we're on. That's Clockwork Essentials. Clockwork's Essentials. We will be picking that up when we go to... Actually, we have Cast Pipe's task. I kind of want to pick up Clockwork's Essentials while we're here, too. That is a Nomergon quest. But Nomergon's far enough away from us, I'll just ignore that for now. Alright, here she is.
Velinde Starsong. That the priestess
That's how I say it.
disappeared some time ago is almost certainly common knowledge. As to further details about the events that surrounded her departure, it would take good reason for me to divulge such information. The Tome of Melthandris showed you this? I suppose there would be little harm in allowing you to examine her belongings. This key will allow you to open the chest where we stored her things in the Sentinel's bunkhouse. She kept a journal of her duties. If there is anything to be learned, it will be from that. I should tell you, the Sentinels believed that she had her own reasons for leaving, and expect that she could return at any time. The priestess has done much in the past to earn our trust.
Okay, so we got Velinda's key. Now they want us to go look at her effects. Oh, my bad. It's the other way. It's down here in the Tradesman's District. Okay, Tradesman's Terrace. Alright, so we did Velinda's Starsong and her effects. That one is done. Okay, turn in, pick up. Alright, so if you head down into the Tradesman's District, which we can sell some of these things we got from the Pride Wings. We just killed poor Pride Wings for a while with little comment. But we need to go over to that building. I want to sell. Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to worry about selling right now. We have so much travel to do. Main reason being, when I make an episode a little longer, a little bit later in the day like this, like I've been doing the past couple days, and they last so long like this, and I finish on my coffee, by the time we get here, I'm fit to bursting. Alright, so here we're going to get her effects. There's a chest or something up here. And we have the key. This is, I guess, where she was staying. Okay, we got her journal. Can we read it? We can. Elune has granted my wishes. The lives of my fallen comrades will not be in vain, and I shall avenge their deaths using the Scythe of Elune. It is an ancient thing, a branch, twisted and gnarled of wood that could be older than even the Calderai. For many hours I examined the tool that the goddess granted to me. It is no ordinary weapon, that is for certain, nor is it a simple magical implement. With it, it is as though the barriers of time and space are weakened. Holding the scythe in my hands, I received a vision of chaos. Wolfmen. The Worgen battled an incredible enemy. The Worgen fought savagely as fit their primitive race, but their enemy was unflinching. The Lords of the Emerald Flame. And that was when I realized the true power of the scythe. By focusing on it, I became able to communicate with the Worgen. It was not speech I used to contact them, however. It was something different. I could not describe it. What mattered was that the Worgen had heard and understood me. By further channeling energy into the scythe, the barriers weakened more, and I was able to draw Worgen into our world. 1.5 I was able to summon in my first attempt. Go back, what did she say? Yeah, see, they're the Lords of the Emerald Flame. Where is it coming from? And the Lords of Emerald Flame, well, that's sort of, I think, tying into the Burning Legion, like they're demons. Is what they're originally kind of saying here. And I was able to, okay, 1.5 I was able to summon in my first attempt. They followed me into battle, and with their brutish strength at my command, we tore into the demons of Felwood. Elune has granted my wishes. The forest will be cleansed. May Elune's blessing be upon me until my work is done. All goes well. I've summoned larger numbers of Worgen to fight at my side. Though they are of simple mind, they've shown impressive ability to coordinate their attacks and function as a group. I've identified leaders in their packs To them I have given command of small groups of warriors. We strike from many places in the forest at once, and my campaign against the demons is a fruitful one. May Elune's blessings be upon me until my work is done. A pack is lost. I sent the Worgen to range through the forest and identify areas of demonic infestation, but they did not return. I begin to worry about the leaders that I have entrusted control to. They are of simple mind, and this small bit of authority I have given them, they stretch to the utmost. Am I losing control? Perhaps I shall cease summoning additional Worgen for the time being. May Elune's blessings be upon me until my work is done. Though I have not summoned additional Worgen, their numbers continue to increase. It is as though the scythe no longer requires my intervention for the summoning process. This is troubling. I have gathered as many of the packs as I could find and ordered them to remain at the shrine of Melthandris. Meanwhile, I have searched the libraries in Darnassus and consulted the citadel of the Circle of Ancients in Darkshore. Not one scrap of information about these Worgen did I find. I've heard whispers of a wizard of the Kirin Tor named Aragal. From what I've heard, it is possible that he has also summoned Worgen. I would consult with this wizard, distasteful as it may be, and see what he knows. The Worgen are dangerous, and I wish to stem the tide. On the morrow, I will travel to the port in the Barrens and book passage to the New World. May Elune's blessings be upon me until my work is done.
How may I help?
What did you find out?
It seems that Velinde's disappearance is more troubling than it originally appeared. Even still, I cannot believe that she has come to a bad end. Perhaps it would be beneficial for us to make contact with her. Adventurer, since you have shown a vested interest in this matter, I would like to enlist your aid. Ratchet is the only port in the Barrens. Most likely Velinde found a trading vessel in Ratchet to take her to Blackwater Cove in Azeroth. We've had limited dealings with the goblins that run the port, but the master of the dock should have information about the comings and goings of ship passengers. Follow the road southeast through Ashenvale, and you will find yourself in the Barrens. Watch your step, adventurer. Warriors of the Horde patrol the land. You will be safe at the port, though.
Alright, so we have, all of that taught us that, it basically explained how all of the Kalimdor Worgen have come into be. So why are there Worgen on both the Eastern Kingdoms and Kalimdor? Well, Eastern Kingdoms Worgen and Gilneas are tied to Aragal, whereas the Worgen on Kalimdor are tied to the Scythe of Elune. They both seem to be coming from another dimension, although we will later learn that that other dimension is actually the Emerald Dream. And we're on the hunt. We're going to chase down Velinde and hopefully find out where she went. But for now, we have another episode in the pipe, 5x5. We will continue our investigations and our helping of the Ashenvale region on the morrow. See everybody on the next episode of Lore of Warcraft.